So what's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Flex Luthor. Alright, so let's keep it a buck. Future seems to be hip hop's bad guy. I think he gets seen as the villain because he makes certain comments that some women find degrading and distasteful. Now to me, what he says and does is not so much different from what rappers have been doing and saying since the 90s, but due to social media, Future's exploits get that much more attention. Many celebrities nowadays try really hard to make sure they craft their online persona in such a way as to not piss too many people off. However, Future did not get that memo. Future goes the extra mile to give you that extra dose of pettiness, and it is refreshing. No matter how many baby mamas pop up, or no matter how many articles get written about his toxic masculinity, it seems to just feed his ego, which in turn makes him stronger and stronger in his resolve. And that shit is amazing. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about what is undoubtedly one of the biggest songs of 2020, Life is Good, and why we enjoy rooting for this villain. Now, before we jump into this, do me a solid and go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Released on January 10th, 2020, Life is Good debuted at number 2 on the Billboard's Hot 100 chart and remained at that position for 8 consecutive weeks. This song is officially 7 times platinum according to the RIAA. It hasn't even been out a year, and this song already has more than 1.3 billion views on YouTube. As a matter of fact, if you're watching this video, you've probably gotten sick and tired of seeing Life is Good being recommended to you at various points throughout the year. It seems as though no matter how many hating reviews were churned out, this song just wasn't gonna be denied. Yet the question still remains, why? Why does the author of so many important culture-defining memes and phrases garner so much love and hate at the same time? First, let's get something straight right off the bat. Future did not invent being hard on hoes. Rappers have been accused of being misogynistic long before Future came about. The difference with Future is that rappers from the early 90s and 2000s didn't have their exploits so well documented and preserved for the record. Can you imagine if the women that Snoop Dogg and the Dogg Pound were referring to on the song Ain't No Fun had Instagram back in '93? The reason I'd say many of us root for Future is that his lyrics, especially those about women, seem to be authentic. For example, Future and Ciara break up. Now, Ciara claims that he cheated on her. Then a couple years later on the song Low Life, Future proclaims, "If she catch me cheating, I won't never tell her sorry." And for emphasis, he says the line again. Damn, that's pretty savage. Future has made a career out of saying the savage thoughts that we have in our minds but just won't say. But I suppose that's all just part of the rapper fantasy. Being able to buy whatever you want cause money's no option, or taking lavish trips just because, or even resorting to giving every woman you smash an AP watch. And since we're on the subject of AP watches, on the song Life is Good, a part of Future's hook goes, "I done flew out to Spain to be in my domain and Audemars." Woo. So a few months before Life is Good comes out, a video surfaces with Future saying this.
You identify my with APs. She ain't got an AP, she is not mine.
You cold. He cold.
She belongs to the streets.
Now I know the main takeaway from that footage is the line, "She belongs to the streets." And let's take a moment to honor the greatness that is that quote. All right. But in all honesty, the point of that video is that he brands the women he's with AP watches, which directly relates to the lyric that I previously quoted. Again, added authenticity. The point I'm trying to make is, the more his real life exploits with women get reflected in his lyrics, the more credibility it receives and the more we ultimately are drawn to it. The same dude who has a song called Honest is the same dude who says, "I ride for my and lie to my on Life is Good." The irony is not lost on me. And you know what? It makes perfect sense. On the internet, Future is dubbed the king of misogyny, which for the record I think is total bullshit, but the memes are hilarious. So for now, let's just go with it. In my opinion, it's not fair to dub all misogyny the same. I mean, there are levels to it. Or better yet, think of it like a spectrum. On one side of the spectrum, you have incels, involuntarily celibate dudes. Basically, dudes who can't get no hoes. So the shit they talk about women just stems from a place of not being able to get any women to notice them. On the other side of the spectrum, you have your player type dudes. Men who manipulate women with promises of love just so they can get what they want physically and move on to the next. Personally, I don't think Future or any successful rapper belongs anywhere on this spectrum. These guys are merely consumers purchasing a product, sex and at-will companionship. Now, that may sound harsh in and of itself, but consider the first line to the hook on Life is Good. Yeah, 100,000 for the cheapest ring on a finger, lil' woo. Now, why flex on a woman so hard? Is it because he's just an asshole? Or is it because that's the type of talk those women want to hear? These days, it seems as if society doesn't place as much value on relationships as it once did, which, in my opinion, is a good thing for many reasons. But my point is, many women don't like the idea of being played. They don't want to hear promises of love and commitment without some type of consideration to go with it. Many women want to be compensated for their time and the use of their bodies for your sexual pleasure. A sentiment I can certainly understand. I mean, who wants to have their time wasted? So lines like, drop $3 on a ring, cost a Bentley truck, lil' woo, are not so much flexes as they are affirmations that he's the type of guy that they're looking for, which, judging by the amount of baby mamas he has, works like a charm. So what's the problem? Many of these women out here want guys to spend large sums of money on them, and Future is willing to adorn these women with an AP watch, so should be a match made in heaven, right? Well, not exactly. Truth is, these women want you to spend large sums of money on them while treating them with the same level of respect you would a potential wife. Now, you may be thinking, well, if I spend large sums of money on a woman and treat her with a wife level of respect when we aren't even boyfriend and girlfriend, and all she even really wants from me is money, doesn't that make me a simp? Well, yes, it certainly does. And this is where much of the ire that gets thrown at Lord Hendrix comes from. However, it's also the source of much of his popularity. He is what I like to call an anti-simp. He's willing to spend money, but on his own terms. The last line of his second verse says, "Got that kitty cat, I'm having fun with that, going Birkin." Here, he's clearly saying that since he's having fun with this woman sexually, he will buy her a Birkin bag. To him, that's the value of having fun with that particular woman. If he doesn't have his way, he won't break no bread. Refer back to 2018, when a woman flew out to meet him in LA on her own dime. Now, Future said he would compensate her 1,000% for the cost of the airline ticket. He books the hotel, and once she gets there, Future calls and instructs her to put on some lingerie. The woman lets him know that she's not interested in a sexual relationship, and after that, he never shows up to the hotel and even cancels the booking on the hotel room. When she confronts him about it via text, he replies with, "I'm good, love, enjoy." Just like I said earlier, who wants to have their time wasted? Rich celebrity men are always on guard when it comes to letting romantic partners get close because of their uncertainty of that person's intentions. So if you celebrate the get money from a type lyrics that Meg Thee Stallion and the City Girls frequently rap, which we should totally celebrate by the way, then you can't get mad at Future for using money as a tool to have women sexually bend to his will. This idea is not lost on Future, which is why he leans so heavy on the anti-simp persona. And on some level, this idea isn't lost on us either, which makes rooting for this anti-simp villain so easy. So what did you think of Life is Good? Let me know down in the comments. Do you think he's an anti-simp, or do you think he's just a misogynistic asshole? I want to know what you think. Anyway, till next time, y'all, peace.